All right, here we are on top of Cottonwood Pass. It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It's breathtaking up here, really. Actually, I'm just out of breath.
Well, we've made it over to Taylor Reservoir. We're in Crested Butte.
We have hit the motherlode. I cannot wait.
That is a pristine peach. Can you tell why they call it marble? These were dinosaur eggs. All right, we're leaving Redstone and we're in Aspen. We are headed up Independence Pass, one of the most beautiful passes in Colorado. We did it. We've completed the Colorado Crown Loop. Good morning, Buena Vista, Colorado. This is one of my favorite places in Colorado and one of my favorite stores here is Colorado Kayak Supply, or CKS. Today we're starting a really special and cool adventure where we are going to be leaving Buena Vista and we are going to be going westbound on a big circle that is going to encompass the central part of Colorado. One thing that's going to be really nice about this tour is this is going to be something any of you guys can do in almost any sort of vehicle. You don't have to have a tricked out Sprinter van. We're not going anywhere rough or anywhere crazy, but we are going to go to some of the most beautiful places in Colorado. So we're starting our circle here and we are going to go westbound. I like the sound of that. Oh yeah, now a lot of you guys who don't know might be saying it's Buena Vista, not Buena Vista. Well, this is kind of like Hurricane Utah isn't Hurricane Utah. The way they pronounce it here is Buena Vista, not Buena Vista. Leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to reiterate that, but that's how it is. So we're gonna grab a quick little breakfast here in Buena Vista, and we're gonna go westbound up and over Cottonwood Pass to another special place for lunch. And look who's here.
I'm back.
Kathy's back, at least for a little while. She's got, I'm afraid, surgery on her horizon for her ankle that she hurt in Peru. It's kind of a bummer, but that's where we are. So it's early morning here and the city hasn't quite gotten going fully. We're gonna go down here to one of our favorite coffee shops and get something to eat.
Thank you so much. You enjoy.
Thank you. All right, we just went in Lobach's Bakery, got a couple of glazed donuts, and they're known for their kolaches.
All right, this is a sausage jalapeno cheese kolache. Let's see how it is. That's really good. Thumbs up.
So, quick little breakfast treat here, and we're gonna hit the road here shortly. right, here we are on top of Cottonwood Pass. It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It's breathtaking up here, really. Actually, I'm just out of breath.
We're at 12,126 feet up here. It is gorgeous. So we're gonna kind of enjoy the drive up here. This is a wonderfully scenic drive. I'd recommend you guys come up here and check this out. I'm so excited because we see a moose down here. We've got out our Vortex spotting scope, and I just got a new all-in phone case that mounts to the spotting scope that's gonna allow us to see the moose through our phone, which is gonna be pretty cool. All right, there it is. Check this out, see if you can see it. Okay, I've got the moose framed up here. It's so cool, I can see it on my phone. I'm gonna hit record for video. Okay, this is so cool. I am recording the moose right now through the spotting scope with my phone and be able to really check things out. I'm super stoked on this. We are gonna keep going down the west side of the pass, and we're gonna be going on over to Taylor Park and Taylor Lake. We'll show you that when we get there. Well, we've made it over to Taylor Reservoir. This is on the west side of Cottonwood Pass. Well, here we are at Taylor Park. It's a place where, when I was a kid, people came here with their dirt bikes and you'd ride the trails all around here. And this was a place you could rent one of these cabins and you could base out of here. My dad would bring me here and we'd meet up with a bunch of friends and we would ride for a week out here, riding all around these mountains and exploring. And honestly, I think that is why I love mountains so much today, is from those formative years growing up and riding my dirt bike around the mountains, and I just really discovered how amazing they are. And I grew up in Oklahoma, so we didn't have anything like this there, and this was always a really special trip that we looked forward to. And it was, like I said, it shaped me today, and I think that's partially why I like to wander around in my van and explore mountains around the world, is to bring back that sense of coming here in the summer and getting to explore it on my dirt bike. But you can come here and you can rent one of these little cabins. I can't remember which ones we stayed in. I mean, we came here a lot of summers, so we stayed in probably a different one every time. But it's kind of cool to be back here, look around, reminisce what that was like. This tour that we're doing today brings you right through here. It's one of the places where you can come in here and you can get chips and sandwiches and stuff like that, cold drinks and ice, but there's not a lot of other stuff here besides that. So you would definitely, if you're coming out this way, you want to kind of be prepared, stocked up, and ready to be out here for a while where you can enjoy it, because there's a lot to enjoy. So here at Taylor Park, there is a gas pump. You can get unleaded or diesel. Looks like it's $5.55 a gallon for diesel or $5.19 for unleaded. And it's good to know that fuel is here because it is a long ways to the next gas station. But I think this is gonna be a quick stop for us. We're gonna keep moving west and take you to the next place, which, speaking of getting some food and resupplying, this would be another place you could do that. Let's keep on moving. We're in Crested Butte. All right, we've made it to our next destination, someplace that has really great pizza. Let's go down here. I'll tell you where we are. And we're going to a really good pizza place here called The Secret Stash. All right, we're starting things off with the rupee salad. All right, we got the pinhead pesto pizza. This is really good. Well, there was dinner at the Secret Stash. All right, we've had a great time here in Crested Butte. This is a beautiful place to come visit, really any time of the year. Winter's known for the skiing, summer is known for mountain biking, and kayaking is great here as well in the earlier part of summer. And there's also amazing wildflowers and incredible fall color. We're a little early for the fall color this year, but it's gonna be good. It's just now starting. So now we're leaving town, we're gonna go up into the mountains and find a great place to camp. Well, here we are, one of our favorite camp spots, really all of Colorado. This is a really special one. We've been coming here for probably over 20 years. It's a beautiful spot here in the Aspens. And you know what? If you're one of our patrons, I am gonna give this location to you. This is not one that I'm gonna share with the public, but with our patrons, you guys got it. We're here at the beautiful Kebler Pass. This place is gorgeous. Giant mature aspen trees everywhere. And in fact, I've been told it is one of the largest groves of aspens in the whole world. It's pretty special. And you know, a lot of people think aspens are all over Colorado, and they are. But these are special in that these are the big mature aspens, the big ones that get really tall. They're different. They're quite different than the little thin ones that you see over most of the state where there doesn't get as much water. But here it rains enough, it snows enough that these aspens grow big and tall. So this is where we're gonna camp tonight. It's always cool and calm and beautiful back here. And this is gonna be a great place to spend the night. But don't worry, tomorrow I'm gonna give you guys an even better tour of Kebler Pass as we keep pushing west. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, Colorado. We're a good ways outside of Crested Butte at this point, and what a beautiful morning it is here in the Aspens. Look at this place. The light is just glowing through the aspen trees. Their white trunks are just beautiful, and this is a really cool environment to wake up in. Now today's gonna be a fun day because we are gonna go do something that I've never done before. But before we do that, we gotta have breakfast over here. So our favorite kitchen apparatus right now is this thing. This is an air fryer. It's nice and small. I can plug it in right here. It opens up. And the other thing that makes me like this the most is it has these little papers that go in here and they keep it clean. So this thing is super easy to clean when you're done. You just pull this little paper out, you can throw it away. I'll even use these 2 or 3 times if they don't get too dirty. This is awesome. Now the best part about going to the secret stash for pizza for dinner is that you get to have pizza for breakfast. This is the pesto pinhead that we had last night. It's going in the air fryer. Now these slices are pretty big, and we can fit 2 of these, kind of yin and yang, in the air fryer. What do you think, Kathy? What should we set it on?
Just hit start.
All right, so it is gonna be circulating super hot air in here, and it's gonna make this pizza taste just like it's out of the oven, like it did yesterday. Let's go a little more.
I'm gonna turn it on.
Nothing better than pizza in the Aspens. This is the secret stash. Well, we've made it to our next stop. This is Big B's Fruit Company. This is in Paonia, Colorado. And hopefully here we're gonna be able to pick our own fruit and get some really good stuff.
Oh man, we have hit the mother lode. They have peaches, green chilies, sweet corn, Honeycrisp apples. I cannot wait.
All right, so here's the deal. We go around to the back of the building. They have little baskets, and we then proceed to following a map that takes us all over this pretty large property, and we can pick whatever we want that's in season. Sounds like they got peaches, apples, lots of garden vegetables. Who knows what else? We're gonna go see. So you get one of these baskets, and then you go off and you pick what you want. All right, the first aisle we're going down is tomatoes, and they look pretty good. Oh, you got one.
Got it.
Tons of apples. Okay, we're looking for cucumbers. It's like peppers, cucumbers, cantaloupes, and I see the grapes. All right, look at all these beautiful grapes. There's just tons of them. Okay, we found the peaches. All right, after much deliberation through the peach orchard, I think this is my one. Now, I'm not a peach expert, so, oh, maybe it's this one. No, maybe it's this one. Oh gosh, leave a comment how to pick a proper peach. Oh, I want this one. Yeah. Look at that. That is a pristine peach. All right, I'm gonna stick it in my little basket. Off we go. Oh, the bird got this one. Okay, Kathy said it's time to quit. We've almost got 2 of these little baskets full of stuff, and it's very addictive. You get back in here and you just wanna pick more and more and more, and you keep seeing really neat things. And I think that's the way this business works. But all this stuff is really good. So I think we're gonna head back towards the little market, and they'll weigh our baskets and tell us how much it costs. Kind of scared to find out. And all of this fresh produce, including a bag of salad that we didn't pick, is $24. We got some good stuff, and it's all organic. Not only do they have great stuff to pick from the trees and the garden, they also have amazing food here. So here we are, jumping into a little quinoa salad, and Kathy got the Baja tacos. This has been a great stop on our circle tour of Colorado. Now we're gonna backtrack just a little bit. All right, let's get going. We're heading back east, and we're gonna make this circle. Well, we've made it, and we're now on top of another pass. We're now on McClure Pass, which is 8,745 feet. Now, McClure it's a nice pass. It's got beautiful aspens up here, but it's not one of the most dramatic passes. Now, McClure Pass is almost on the far side of the loop that we're doing, and it's a beautiful place. If you want to come up here in the fall, it has some amazing fall color, especially on the east side of the pass, where we're gonna do some really cool exploration here, just down there on the other side of the pass. So let's do it. Let's go down the pass, and I'm gonna take you to some favorite little out of the way spots. we've made it to Marble, Colorado. Can you tell why they call it marble? This is a giant slab of white marble, and it's quarried right up the mountain here. It's a very scenic drive to get up to the quarry itself, and that's what we're gonna do next. Now, this marble has been used in monuments in Washington and all over the place, and it's one of the few places where you can find this pure of white marble. And it couldn't be in a more spectacular setting, right here with the creek. Up here, there's a trout pond, there's big mountains all around us, and this whole town, everything in this town almost, has some sort of connection to the marble. There's artists that come here in the spring, and they will purchase a big chunk of marble and they will sculpt it all throughout the summer. At the end of the summer, hopefully they sell their piece, and that's how they make a living. There's lots of galleries around here, especially over in the nearby town of Redstone, which we'll go there soon. You can go in these galleries and see marble that has been carved into all sorts of really creative things, and it comes from right here. Now, if you are one of our patrons, we are going to do a field guide to this loop, and so you will have all the GPS coordinates for every stop we've made, every camp, and the path that we've taken. If you're not a patron, you should consider joining. It'll give you access to all of our field guides from all the way to the top of Alaska to the tip of Baja. And I'm gonna have my field guide to the Magruder Corridor in Idaho coming out very soon. And if you enjoy this channel, being a patron is a way for you to help us keep having these adventures and filming them and sharing them with not only you, but everyone else. Thank you so much to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you for keeping the wheels turning. All right, so we're gonna go up this road now. It's a beautiful drive, and we're gonna go check out the marble quarry. Wow, I've been gone for a while. This place has completely changed. There used to be a little parking lot down here where you could park and you'd walk a trail up and you could go look into the old mine. And it was really cool. It was right on the side of the creek. And wow, we pulled down in here now where it used to just be a faint little trail through the woods. And there is a full-on quarry here. They've done a lot more work. So it's grown. And what an operation. Looks like they found a new strain of marble here and they're going after it. So just for scale, this is one of the blocks. And you can see I'm standing here next to it. It is massive. It's huge. I don't know what this thing weighs. Sometimes you will see these down in the town. They're on the backs of trucks and they've spray painted on them how many tons they are. I always find that interesting to look at. All right, well, this is quite different than what I thought I was gonna find up here from in years past. I thought we were gonna go on a cool little hike and get to look into the old abandoned quarry. Well, it's back in action. And they're getting all the white marble they can out of here, I guess. And these blocks that they're cutting out of here are huge. But it's still a pretty drive getting up here. I'm glad we came, but it's definitely a little different than what I thought we were gonna discover. I guess that's what happens. You go on the Pan American Highway for 2 years, you come back, everything's changed. So we're gonna keep going down the hill here and probably look for a place to camp. It's starting to get kind of late. Well, here it is, Marble, Colorado. What a beautiful place. It's pretty much off the beaten path, but it's getting to be more and more. And this is a great stop on our tour of Colorado, the Central Circle Tour of Colorado. What are we gonna call it? I don't know. I'll come up with something by the time this video is over. But I think this is a tour that everybody should do because it takes you through some of the most beautiful parts of Colorado. The videos I've made lately have some four-wheel drive component to it, or it's really far off the beaten path, or a super high adventure. This is something you could do in any car, and you could come back here and see all this stuff and experience this type of a trip. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys take advantage of this tour and repeat it for yourself. So the road into Marble pretty much dead ends here at this trout pond, and that's actually not 100% true. You can keep going on a very rough advanced 4x4 road to some more really beautiful places like the town of Crystal, which is kind of an old ghost town with a few houses there. And that is something you should all check out, but that is not in the scope of this video because it requires high clearance four-wheel drive, and to go on past there, you could go all the way to Crested Butte if you wanted, but it is a really burly four-wheel drive road. But it's there for you guys who have Jeeps, dirt bikes. So now we're gonna turn around here. We're gonna backtrack back out to the highway. So we've got a few places that we like to camp around here. We're gonna go see what's available. Well, we got a good site here in Bogan Flats Campground. This is a little bit west of Marble, almost back to the main road, and it is a really nice campground. I've stayed here many times in the past, and we're in Site 30. So if you guys want to recreate our trip, look for Site 30. It's not right on the water, which I normally do like. All the ones over there are reserved, but it does have a good view of the sky because I gotta upload a video for you guys tonight. So I need my Starlink to be working tonight. But this is a great little campground with a good feel. It's right on the side of the Crystal River. It's just a nice one. So check this out, and there are plenty of other campgrounds in the area. If this one happens to be full or whatnot, use your Overlander app and you will find lots of places to camp around here. It's been a great day here exploring the mountains of central Colorado on this big loop road. And so we've got a whole bunch of produce and stuff from Paonia, from the orchard we went to and the farm. We're getting ready to cook up some dinner.
We picked some amazing fresh vegetables today in Paonia, and tonight I'm going to make a fresh garden salad with roasted eggplant. Into the air fryer it goes. A little tougher. There we go. All right, we're gonna throw the garlic in, and ordinarily I would drizzle this with olive oil, but we are out of olive oil, so I'm gonna throw in a little bit of butter. All right, I'm gonna air fry it for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make the salad. So this is a locally grown salad mix that we got at the farmer's market earlier today that I'm using as the base for the salad. All kinds of beautiful fresh greens. Ooh, look at that one. It's all mottled. That's beautiful. It's gonna be delicious. Very good. Okay, so the eggplant has been cooking for about 25 minutes at 400 degrees on air fry mode, and it looks so good. Oh my gosh, look at that. So I'm just gonna put some on top of our salad. And the best part is you just take out the liner in here, throw it away, wash the bowls, easy cleanup. Bon appetit. It really doesn't get any more farm to table than this.
Yeah, this is great. Oh, that's good.
You like it?
Thank you.
What do you think of the eggplant?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good. Good job. Well, there it is. It's gonna be a great night in Colorado. Tomorrow has got some more really cool stops, and I can't wait to take you there. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
Well, good morning. We're down the road a little ways now from the campground. We're in kind of a funky place. Let's walk over here and we'll take a look. These right here are restored coke ovens. You can drive by here and you see these right off the main highway. And it's kind of funny because we've been coming here for a long time, like probably 25 or more years. And we used to see these, which are partially restored coke ovens. Some of them are like this one where they're smashed out and it's just kind of the remains of them. We used to tell our daughter Abby when she was little that these were dinosaur eggs. And she always got excited when we drove this part of the drive and we got close to the dinosaur eggs. She wanted to see them. And it was always a big landmark for her as we were driving up the Crystal Valley. So it's kind of fun. They've put a lot of energy into restoring some of these. They're in a lot better shape than they used to be. But just across the river over here is the town of Redstone. It always brings back great memories of fall, coming up here to see the Aspens change on McClure Pass. And we would rent a little cabin there. And I would bring my photography clients here and we would do family portraits up in the mountains in the fall color. So it's really fun to be back here. And we're gonna take you guys across the street and show you some of the cool stuff that Redstone has to offer. Well, we've made it to Redstone. This is just such a gorgeous little town. It has so much character. I swing through here every time I pass through. There's some wonderful art galleries. There's an amazing general store that we're gonna go to here in a minute. And it's just kind of like you're stepping back in the past when you come here. Kids are riding their bikes down the main street. There seems to be just this idyllic, just really beautiful little community here. All right, so here it is, Redstone, Colorado. Now you can't come to the Redstone General Store without getting ice cream. So here we are, sit out front, enjoy your ice cream. It's a good day. All right, we're leaving Redstone now, but we got a little bit of a drive here onto Carbondale and then into Aspen. And we'll see where we end up from there. All right, feel like we're out of the mountains now. We're in the most populated place we're going to be on this whole tour. And we're in Aspen, downtown Aspen. You think of movie stars, you think of fur coats, you think of the Prada store. Well, it's all here. But it's also a fun place just to poke around. There's good food, lots of cool little shops and galleries to look into. And that's what we're going to do for the next couple hours. Now, Kathy and I can only take places like this for a few hours at a time, and then we got to get back up into the mountains, back up where it's wild and where we can really enjoy the beauty of being in the mountains and not in the city. But we're gonna have fun here. Well, you've heard of beach volleyball? I guess this is grass volleyball. They're just playing here in this field, and there's a ton of people here playing volleyball. All right, we spent about an hour wandering around downtown Aspen. There's a lot going on here. We've had enough city time. We're ready to get back up into the mountains. And one of the most beautiful parts of this tour is still to come. So let's go up there now. All right, we are headed up Independence Pass. This is one of the most beautiful passes in Colorado, and it's paved the whole way over. Now, Kathy and I have been talking about, what do we call this loop? It feels like it needs a name. It is so amazing. And I think we've decided to call it the Colorado Crown Loop. Now, our first stop going up Independence Pass is a place called the Weller Trailhead. Now, today is Friday, and we've been traveling midweek, which is like how we normally like to travel. But we can tell now that it's Friday, it is getting super busy. We're seeing way more traffic on the road. We're seeing the campgrounds are marked as full. It's just busy. Now, if you guys are gonna do the Colorado Crown Loop, I would recommend you coming during the week, maybe start on a Monday, or even you could take a week or more to do this loop. We're doing this in 3 days because we wanna show that this can be a really cool, something to do in a 3-day weekend. But obviously, the more time you have to spend up here, the better. But you know what? We got out of Aspen, we pulled into the trailhead here. There was one other car parked here. So, you know, you get out of the resorty towns and you can still have the mountains all to yourself.
So this little guy is a thimbleberry. They're kind of tart, but they're really good for you. Kind of like a raspberry, but a little more sour. Whew. That was a tart one. Jaws.
So this rock formation is called Jaws. Can you tell why? It kind of looks like a big shark coming up out of the ground, and its big wide mouth is open. Let's keep going on up the pass. We've still got some cool things to check out. All right, we're here at a really cool stop. This is a spot called the Devil's Punchbowl. Let's go down here and check it out. Well, there it is. This is a great place to go swim on a hot day, and it's still a great place to come and hang out and see this beautiful turquoise water. But it's kind of cold and cloudy, and it's been sprinkling a little bit, and it's a nice stop going up Independence Pass. There are a few places where the road narrows down into a single lane. I don't know if it's just my training from driving across Peru, but I usually honk my horn a few times going around the blind corners and have my window down so I can maybe hear someone else coming the other way. But it's a good idea just to go slow, take your time, and not rush around these blind corners because they can be a little sketchy. But for the most part, this road is 2 lanes, paved beautifully, and it's going to take us up and over the top of the Continental Divide. So one thing you should know about this drive up and over Independence Pass is there is a length restriction. We think it's 35 feet, but definitely this is not a place to bring a big Class A motorhome or a 5th wheel or something like that. But smaller motorhomes and adventure vans and down are totally fine. It's just got some really tight hairpin corners that if you're longer than 35 feet, you're gonna have a hard time getting around. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. This is Colorado, and it is great at dealing out surprises. We thought we were going up and over Independence Pass and heading down to BV, exactly where we started on this crown loop. But it turns out the weather is really building. It's getting really nasty. And we decided that we wanted to enjoy our time on Independence Pass and not have to race through it, or even worse, not see anything because we're in the clouds. So we're gonna stay here at this campground right at the bottom of the pass. I'll put a pin to it on the map that's gonna be on our Patreon. We're gonna sit it out tonight, and hopefully tomorrow the weather's gonna be nicer and we'll continue pushing on. So we're just gonna hang out in the rain tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, Independence Pass. Well, we're on the west side still. Boy, it sure did rain and pound. It was kind of ugly and just stormy, nasty, cold weather. But now it's a beautiful day. The sun is out. There's little puffy clouds. It's gonna be beautiful. And it actually forced us to stay in a place that we might not have stayed in otherwise. And this has turned out to be a beautiful campground. So we've had a very leisurely morning, and actually it's early afternoon now. We've just been hanging out, enjoying this campsite. But I think here soon it's time to push off. Let's do this. Right on the side of Independence Pass is the old Independence ghost town. So this little area had hundreds of full-time residents from about 1870 to 1890. And they were mostly mining gold and silver here. There was a big boom. They built a couple of mills. And as the story of prospectors usually goes, it's good for a little while, and then it goes bust. And that's what exactly happened here. But amazingly, from about 1890 to today, some of these buildings are still standing. Like here is one of the old mill buildings. I think this is the first mill. And as we go further over here, I think we're gonna find some even better examples. And looking around up here on the hillside, you can see some right there. Those are mine tailings. That is the stuff that's come out of the mine that they just let run down the hillside. They then would take the ore that they thought had, silver or gold in it. It would come down here to the mill, which is kind of where I'm standing right now, is where the big building used to be. And they would crunch it all up and separate the gold nuggets from the ore, from the rocks, and then separate that out. And it said that this place would make about $12,000 a month on gold when it was really running well. And back in the late 1800s, $12,000 was a lot of money. So that's why all these prospectors during the gold rush came here to find their fortune. I don't know how many of them did. This was owned by a big mining company, employed a couple hundred people. But once the mining company decided to pull the plug on this, it wasn't turning enough gold. The gold had run dry and they were moving on. So let's walk on down here a little ways further, and we're going to check out the old ghost town of Independence. So let's see here, let's check out the old stable building. Wow. And I just read on the sign, you can tell this was the stables because it has these extra wide doors. These are so they could get horses in here. Now they ran a stagecoach from Leadville and Granite up Independence Pass. They would do this year round, and they would use this to bring people, supplies, and to get the ore out of here, the gold. It also would go over into Aspen, which I can't imagine what Aspen was like then. But this was a big stop for the stage. So they had these stables. They would switch out horses. They also had dorm style accommodations for the people riding the stage. I read an account of somebody leaving Leadville at first light, and they made it all the way over by 9 o'clock at night. And this was in the winter when they transferred from a regular stagecoach into a sleigh at Twin Lakes, and the horses pulled a sleigh up and over 12,090 feet of Independence Pass. They had stagecoaches and sleighs on both sides, so they'd switch out to whatever they needed for the conditions. But that must have been an amazing way to travel. But it's neat, these old buildings are still here, and you can come and check them out. And you want to be careful going in these things because they are kind of dilapidated, for safety. But you also want to not touch things, not damage anything. These are historical buildings. It's actually, there's a sign over that says property of the U.S. government, and this is a historic place. So, you don't want to damage them in any way. You just want to come and be a good visitor. Take it in, look with your eyes, get a good look around, but try not to touch things or damage anything in any way. Let's keep going. There's more good stuff. So behind me here is the general store, one of, it sounds like many. It said there was 47 businesses here at one time. It says these small cabins are often occupied by 4 to 6 men. They had low ceilings to make them easier to heat in the winter, and they often had these big overhangs where the doors were because the snow would pile up so high. They needed a place where they could keep firewood and also be able to open the door after a big snowstorm. This has been a wonderful stop at the Independence Ghost Town, just like it was in 1890. It's time for me to go. We're gonna go up and over the pass. I think I've seen most of the structures, and I'm gonna head back to the van. This is gonna be really beautiful, but you're scared of heights. Hang on. Well, here we are, atop of Independence Pass at 12,095 feet. That's pretty good. Tight switchbacks, but it's all paved, and it is beautiful. right, we did it. We've completed the Colorado Crown Loop. We're back in Buena Vista. Well, what'd you think? Was that a good tour?
It was absolutely beautiful. I loved going over the high mountain passes. The Aspens are just now starting to change. It's just spectacular.
Yeah, it's a good loop. Now this would be even better if it had the fall color, and that's about 3 weeks from now. It should be looking a lot more gold with the Aspens changing. So typically that will happen mid-September into maybe the first week of October is kind of when it peaks most places. It could go a little longer. If you did this same trip, then you're gonna have some lovely color. What do you guys need to know to do this on your own? Well, first and foremost, I wanna say we're gonna have a field guide for this on our Patreon. So check that out if you want the full info on this trip, and it's gonna include a map, a GPS tracks, all of our favorite places that we stopped at, campsites, all that. I'm even gonna include some extra ones that were places that weren't seen in the video, but are places that I think you guys should go and check out on your own. But this route is perfect for anyone in a Mercedes Sprinter van, your Winnebago Revel. Oh, look, there goes one right there. Really, any SUV, car, truck. There's no real off-road to be concerned with on this route. This is just a beautiful tour of the high country of Colorado. It takes you over some of our favorite passes, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we have. Hit me down below if you have a comment, if there's a place that I missed that you think we should have featured here. I would love to know, because this is definitely a route that I'm gonna be repeating over and over again in years to come. All right, guys, that's it for now. I hope you get out and enjoy the Colorado Crown Loop, and I hope I see you somewhere over the horizon. Take care, guys. We're out of here.